Have you ever lost something that you could have sworn you loved so much? A partner who you could have sworn you loved with all your heart. That drive you once had to pursue something like a hobby or a career, but you can't do it anymore. That one thing that you worked so hard at, it all turned out to be for nothing because you don't care anymore. It doesn't matter anymore, and we don't know why. It's never easy, losing, and admitting that you lost. There's many reasons why we lose. Maybe our feelings change. Maybe we changed. It sucks, right? That crossroads of going back or moving on is something that we all must face and answer the question to. Katsuki Yuri had to do that as well. He failed, and he didn't know if he wanted to give up or not. He didn't know why he failed. He didn't know how he failed, but he did, and it hurt him. A lot has hurt him, and for the longest time he didn't know why. He didn't know what happened. When he was a child, he knew that he wanted to become a figure skater. He knew that he wanted to stand by his idol, Viktor Nikiforov, holding his medal up next to him as his picture was taken. He knew that he wanted to do this because he was inspired to do so thanks to the graceful moves and dancing that Viktor did on the ice. Yuri has watched him do this for years, and he wanted to do it himself. And he did. He made it all the way to the finals. And he failed. And he found himself at that crossroads. So what happened? Well, this happened. Yuri lost. He got beat down and broken in a single night, and he lost. We see how nervous and anxious he is before the competition, hear about the passing of his best friend and dog Vic-chan, watch him have a mental breakdown and become embarrassed where Yuri hears him and tells him to stop crying, which Yuri does, and it takes an unhealthy toll on his mental state. And finally, after all of that, we watch him fail in front of tons of people, cry knowing that his career is over, and even then, he takes a year-long break just so he can answer the question of if he wants to try again or quit and never look back. And no, what happens to Yuri isn't him being bullied due to incompetent writing. What happens to him is that he came face to face with an asshole named Life. Life will take loved ones, beat you down and make you feel like nothing, send horrible people and memories your way, rip the very thing that you love and struggle to hold on to out of your hands, leaving them scratched and bleeding, and tell you to either suck it up or cry. And Yuri cries. He sobs and breaks down because he can't help it. He feels like nothing because he thinks he's nothing. He suffers from everything life has thrown his way. Depression, anxiety, lack of self-esteem, and more. He's left without a clear outlook on life or knowing what to do next. So he takes time off to think about it. It takes him a year to answer that question. He finally returns home and decides to see his family and friends since it's been a while, which helps him and puts him at ease greatly. However, the past year has drastically changed Yuri. He's gained weight due to him not dieting anymore, although he still worked out. But that doesn't matter right now. What matters is proving himself once more and showing that he still has it. He still has that love for the ice, and he is going to prove it by doing a routine done by his idol Viktor and doing it flawlessly. And he does it, and is met by cheers, not only from his best friend and her family, but from the viewer who just witnessed it happen. And then this happened.
てっきり落ち込んでるのかと思ってた。うん。でも落ち込んでるのにも飽きちゃってさ。ずっと考えてたんだ。スケートを好きな気持ち取り戻したくて。ゆうちゃんとビクトルの真似して滑ってた頃を思い出せるかなって。ゆうちゃん、僕ずっと。
That's what did it for me and many people. The verbal promise that he would work hard and get better no matter what it took. The promise that he would overcome his fears and what was holding him back and doing what he loved once more. Yuri is the perfect character for a story like this. He's a character that we can connect to because of how well written he is. He isn't perfect. He has a long ways to go and will fail over and over again if he wants to reach his goal. And we see him do just that. He was already working hard without Viktor's help, and when Viktor becomes his coach and Yuri challenges him, he worked even harder because of the fire these people gave him. He works tirelessly to show Viktor that he isn't a lost cause, and to eat pork cutlet bowls with him. He shows kindness to Yuri, who calls him names, and who was the same guy who told him to suck it up and call him a failure in the bathroom stall in episode 1. Yuri is an incredibly flawed human being. Yet he's kind and determined, while also being selfish and closed off. He needs the support that is given to him as we see him hurt physically and mentally, and thankfully he's surrounded by people who will give it to him.
勝てるスキルがあるのになぜ発揮できない。それは多分自分に自信がないから。
Yuri has never spoken up like that. He learns to openly admit that he has problems that he will overcome with the help from those that he asks for. And that's wonderful. It's wonderful to finally see him speak up and say something, because if he didn't, he would be stuck back at square one. Episode 7 is the perfect example of this. After Yuri scores a major victory, he can't handle the pressure of his next performance, and we watch him grow more and more anxious throughout the duration of the episode. When Victor pulls him away from the commotion of the crowd and has to force him to tell him what's wrong by breaking Yuri's heart, Yuri cries. He cries and completely opens up to Victor for the first time, begging Victor to believe in him and to put as much trust in him as Yuri has been doing to Victor this entire time. And it's that moment, that exchange of trust, that gives Yuri the strength to go on and succeed during the duration of the series. And it is incredibly sweet and uplifting when he does. All it took was a moment to step back and breathe and remember who he is and what he's determined to do. Yuri on Ice is a story about sadness, love, life, and passion, but it's also a story about these moments. The moments in Yuri's and later Victor's lives, starting at their lowest point and ending at their highest. Moments that matter to them both. Moments that change them over the course of 8 months. These are the moments that are the most important. Moments of love, sadness, longing, faith, and joy. It's the memories and moments in our lives that we remember the most. And not all of those moments are good. In fact, some of those memories can hold us back and cause us to break. But it's the moments that we spend with others that cause us to grow stronger. Even the bad ones can help us better ourselves and move on. Watching Yuri remember and go through these important moments in his life is what makes this story matters. It's what he learns from them that defines him and teaches us what defines us. We may not always get to where we're going. There may be obstacles and bumps in the road. We may not have our own Victors or Yurios or Pitchits, but we still have something that helps us along the way through this brief yet crazy game called life. Maybe it's that passion that we once lost and are trying to get back. Maybe it's the pain that we feel and are still going through. Maybe it's our friends. Maybe it's our enemies. Maybe it's the memories that we hold close to us that helps us overcome all odds. Or maybe it's failure. It's losing even though we were so set on winning. But failure is okay because we are able to turn that failure into mistakes and learn from those mistakes. And thanks to that, we are able to win. It isn't just one thing that defines us. It isn't something that you did, good or bad, that makes you, you. It's more to what makes us, us. It doesn't matter who you are, what you are, where you come from. It doesn't matter. What matters is what's special to you, what's important to you, what you hold on to, and never want to let go of, even if someone or thing tries to take it away from you. Sometimes we just need to take a look around us and remember who we are and what we have. And that's what matters the most. And all of these reasons and more is why Yuri on Ice is so very special.